It's Talk of the Town on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM. Steve Kelly and Brett Pakita back with Tammy Jo Budzinski of TJ Homes with Keller Williams. TJ, thanks for coming back today.
Thank you for having me back.
Tell us a little bit about, put your salesman cap on. I want to talk a little bit about the market right now in West Michigan, if you're buying or selling. But 25 years as a top realtor here in Grand Rapids is a pretty big deal. That's why you come back time after time on Talk of the Town.
And I appreciate you having me back. So yes, it's a big deal, but I think it more brings to what our experience level is because we've seen every market. And in real estate, people want to know what's hot, what's not. And after COVID, we were in for an interview, and is the market going to crash? I'm like, I don't know. I've never been through this either. And so we've seen right now overall a slowing down of the market. But you see other homes that are flying off the shelf. Why? Location, scarcity, hot neighborhood, price point. And I always joke around of, you've seen HGTV, perhaps you've heard of Joanna Gaines. If a house looks like she went to visit it, you know it's moving quick. Because buyers today are a lot different than what I grew up with 25 years ago in this business. Back then, people were looking for a house that they could make some equity in. They're looking for a fixer-upper. Now they're looking turnkey, turn that key, I want to move in and be done. And they're willing to pay more for that because it's a smaller amount per month.
Now, is that across the board, would you say, when you look at the suburbs of Grand Rapids, is what's going on? Because we've talked about on Wood Radio on the morning show, the deficit that we have as far as housing and everything when it comes to apartments and everything downtown.
So
but
expensive.
When you look at like hot zips that used to be like maybe
Crescent
a Hudsonville,
neighborhood.
like a Rockford, like a Byron Center, are they starting to come back to normal as far as the values? Because I lived in Byron Center, and everyone checks their own house or their neighborhood on Zillow, and boy, there was a while there where it's just skyrocketing.
Well, we saw a few things that all kind of hit at the same time. And what we watched was in 2020 hit, things stopped. Stopped building, which is a problem, and stopped selling for a period of time. It doesn't mean that people had to stop moving. So it created a push, and we were seeing increases in value of 10 to 15% for a few years. That's not normal, but it allowed us to get back to a price point of where it should have been. So we were simply playing catch up because the demand needed it more than the supply was there.
Yeah. Right.
And so now we're seeing our normal increases of about 5% a year. Every recession that we've had since 1960, because we've had recessions, values for homes have always increased. So people say, well, TJ, what should I be doing? Buy. Well, I want to wait till interest rates. No, buy. Because what happens is the minute that you have an interest rate decrease by 1%, your values increase by 5%. Because why? Demand increases. All those buyers that are putting on the shelf right now, waiting for those interest rates to come down, or they're buying a home is just out of reach. I'm now back in the game again. And now demand goes up, more properties hit the market, and it keeps going up. So that's what we're really paying attention to. Wouldn't it be better to secure a home? Yeah, it might be a little bit tight, or maybe to buy a little bit less than what you really want. When interest rates come down, simply refinance at that time.
You can find out more at tjhomes.com. That's TJ Homes. By the way, if you're interested in an instant cash offer, just go to what'smygrandrapidshomevalue.com. Again, what'smygrandrapidshomevalue.com. Give us the difference between advice that you give to buyers and advice that you give to sellers right now in West Michigan.
I've gotten asked a lot over the years for my listing presentation, because when we come at this level of service for customers, people know you're doing something right. And I always joke, well, I have a basic thing, but every single appointment I go on is different. Different story, different strategy, different market, different neighborhood, different price point. And everything takes experience to get you through those. So to answer your question about what do I say, first of all, you need to make a plan. Whether you're buying, whether you're selling. Number one thing is for buyers, you have to get pre-approved first. And some of the referrals we received last week from past clients, first-time home buyers looking to make a move. And I said, hey, I know there's probably been a house on Zillow that caught your eye. Oh, yeah. Which one was it? Why did that interest you? What's your timeline? Well, we really don't know. Because that one house is going to trigger you to buy something. Don't want to miss another one of those. So if you're ready, if you know what you have in the stakes, if you know what money you get to play with and actually have be real money, now we can actually have a conversation to move us forward.
Let me ask you this. Last time we talked to you, Tammy Jo, you hadn't done this yet, but it begs the question of what you just referenced, and I referenced it too. Zillow, you watch all these TV shows. You're now co-hosting a show, American Dream TV. But I mean, it puts it more in the forefront of people looking at their home that they're at, what they might want, what they dream for, or even what they can renovate their own space to do. How has that changed the game for you as a realtor?
Well, I love all of it. I grew up in this business. My grandfather
Steve and I,
father,
by the way, are fans too. We watch those shows. I'm just saying.
Right.
Well, I mean, you're silly if you don't like them just a little bit. So I grew up, my grandfather was a builder, my dad was a builder. I grew up in this business to see what it really was. And I loved looking at perspectives walking through customers' homes to say, hey, I'm very artistic. I'm kind of that 50-50 brain. Very, very business, but I can change colors, walls, textures in my head. So I can walk through and go, oh, for about $5,000, we could do this, 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 and this. If you're currently living in that home, that's probably a no-brainer. Just get it done. Or maybe a $50,000 remodel. Based upon what's on the market, it's going to be more money for you to make the move than to just amend your current home to make it livable. But if we're talking a larger jump, $100,000, a $200,000 renovation job, where the homes are not an even trade, or it's going to be better for you because of the location. You've seen those shows. It's better for you to stay in that same location, the walkability that you want, the neighbors that you want to keep. Because I can always find, like I have customers that come in from out of state, and they go, where should I live? I said, I don't know yet. I can find you the right house, but I don't know the neighborhood that you want to be in yet. I can make recommendations. So one of my biggest longtime clients, he's been with me for now 14 years. I help him to learn how to invest. He said, he called me out of the blue. He was looking in Rockford. We've been doing all these different researches. You know, he's looking at a $400,000 price point. This is back, 10, 15 years ago. And he goes, well, this condo came up. It was like right before 2020. It was foreclosure. It was bad. He drove in from Illinois in a snowstorm to come see us for 20 minutes and then drove back with his family.
Boy.
And we're talking, it was a $75,000 condo. He goes, am I crazy? I said, buy it. He goes, what? I said, I can get you the right house, but start learning the neighborhood, the communities for a little bit. Be here for a year, fix this up, and then we can sell it. He kept that for a rental, sold it for $200,000.
Oh, boy.
So this is how you get into investing. How do you become wealthy? It's not by paying somebody else's mortgage. It's by paying yours off and starting to acquire another house. Use the equity that you've built in your house. You guys are looking, we were just talking before the show. I can't believe what mine's gone up. Are these prices ever going to come down? The answer is no. They are not going to come down. We might have a little bit of leveling off. It might be a little bit taking longer to time to sell, but you have to be in a mindset of saying, hey, if I'm sitting on $150,000 of equity, is that really the best location for it?
You can get connected to TJ at tjhomes.com. At tjhomes.com. That is Tammy Jo Budzinski with TJ Homes with Keller Williams. Always great stuff. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you.
This is Talk of the Town on News Radio Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.